Your next is going to require a different version of you. Your next is going to require you to let go of some stuff. It's going to require you to build up some stuff too. I definitely feel led to talk to the person who feels like maybe everything's not working out. Maybe it's not working out or panning out the way that they thought. Maybe they should be further along by now. Maybe they should be living out their vision boards. Maybe they should be, having the things that they set out for themselves to have earlier this year, last year, 5 years ago. I really feel led to say, can you trust God even if it doesn't look like the plan that you had set out for yourself? I need you to know that regardless of whatever your situation is, regardless of whatever you think you should be by now, you're exactly where God needs you to be for this moment in time. It's hard to progress to the next level when you're still holding on to this level of thinking, this level of mindset, when you're still thinking that you're missing out on an opportunity or you're missing out on the life that you desire to live. Speaking from my own personal experience, I thought that I should be further along. I thought that, by now I should have the warehouse and all of the inventory on the shelves and everything like that. And yeah, I have the inventory. Yes, I have the office. Yes. I knew that the next level was going to require a different level of faith. It was going to require a different level of destiny that I did not think I was ready to give. I knew that I was going to have to let go of a few things. My comfortability, my sleep. I had to let go of the things that made me comfortable where I was. If you're a person who is looking at your life and you're thinking that you should have been further along, I want you to know that the next destination, the next place that you're going, the next pit stop, because it's not like you're not going to stay there. We're always progressing, or we're doing the opposite of that. Your next is going to require a different version of you. Your next is going to require you to let go of some stuff. It's going to require you to build up some stuff too, like building up the endurance, building up the strength, building up the mindset, building up your faith even. The level that I was operating at, it was cool. It was comfortable. I felt good. I felt like, you know what? I can stay here. And that was the problem. I got afraid of thinking of achieving even more than I was achieving. I got afraid of thinking about how was I going to do it? I was doing it on this level, right? I was doing it by myself, it felt like, which we do nothing by ourselves, but hear me out. I was doing it. I didn't need any help. I was doing just enough to stay where I was at. I was doing just enough. And recently, my husband lost his job, all of these things, right? We got married, blessing, right? And everything is a blessing, whether it be good or whether you seem it's seemingly bad. But it really hit me like a wake-up call. It was really like an alarm that sounded off in my mind of, you let time just kind of stand still for so long to the point where you didn't prepare for the things that you didn't even see coming. Those things that I wanted seemed to be too out of reach for me. I didn't think that it was possible for me to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. But the reason why is because I was thinking that I can do it in my own strength. And now that these things have happened, God allows circumstances to come around and to do what they need to do to position you and put you where you need to be. Situations happen at the most perfect time possible because now I have no choice but to become the person that God has called me to be. I have no choice but to step out of my comfort zone. I have no choice but to make it happen. I have no choice but to lean on God and have full faith in this season because God left me without a choice. I don't want you guys to ever get to a point where you feel like, you're comfortable. I don't want you to get to a point where you're like, you know what? I can stay here. It's comfortable here. I don't want to be comfortable again. I don't want to be comfortable from the standpoint of me feeling like I'm barely maintaining or I'm maintaining just enough. Like, I want to be always striving and achieving and always working towards my goals at the best of my ability. And I want to do it for God. I want to do it to a point where God is pleased with what I'm doing. I want to do it to the ability of where I can look at myself and say after a long day, wow, I did so much and I'm so proud of myself. So with all of that being said, I want you guys to know that you can't take it light on yourself from a standpoint of believing that you can just be comfortable with where you are. I want you to always strive to be more, do more, and achieve more, regardless of whatever situation you're in. I know that I have to put in the work. I know that I have to put in the effort. And not only that, I have to rely on God for my strength. Because me relying on my own strength is going to leave me stuck, confused, depressed, all of that stuff. God told us to lean on Him. And so with me building my business, right? I can't just stay in the comfort zone. I can't just stay where it's comfortable. I can't just stay with where I feel like it's easy for me. If I want those things, I have to go get them. And I have to really position myself in the way that God has been telling me to for the longest. Like, I can tell when I'm working hard in my business versus when I'm not. I can tell when I'm overly ambitious and just achieving and happy and I'm having fun with it versus when I'm not. And as of lately, I had not been super motivated. I just felt led to really figure out why was I feeling these ways. I was really trying to dig deep and question, why was I not motivated when this is something that God called me to do, all of these things, right? And it really came down to the point of, you can't do it alone. You can't do it in your own strength. You can't be motivated and inspired if you're not in your word, if you're not talking to God, if you're not listening to the voice of Him. And so I say all of that to say, we have to know how to hold ourselves accountable. We have to know how to put ourselves in those situations or those seasons where we're not comfortable, where we're working harder than we're used to working, because we know that God has a plan. I have to put systems in place, and I have to be more disciplined, and I have to just also act on my ideas and not just give up in the first 3 days when you don't necessarily see the results that you're looking for. And that's in any area of your life, like being disciplined from a standpoint of reading my Bible more, being disciplined from a standpoint of creating content. My life is content, so be a creator, right? Being more disciplined from a standpoint of just believing in myself more and knowing that I can do hard things and I can do them because God is with me. I'm not doing it by myself. I'm doing it with God. And also knowing that the things that I have inside me, other people want to know. Other people want to be a part of that. Other people want to support that. Other people want to be a part of something bigger than just themselves. And if I know these things, then I know that God is going to provide. If I know these things, God's going to make a way. If I know these things, like He's already done, I don't have to be fearful of the journey. I don't have to be fearful of where I'm going. I just know I got to trust Him. And so this message is for someone out there to remember, do more, be more, trust in God more, have faith in your journey more, and know God is going to guide you if you allow Him. And hold yourself accountable, because sometimes we slip through the cracks thinking we'll do just enough to get by, until one day everything just changes and you're looking like, wow, I had the time to do this. I had the time to build this. I had the time to implement this. I had the time to be more disciplined. I had the time, but I didn't use it properly. I had the time, but I wasn't very serious about it. And so I don't ever want you guys to be in a situation where you are pinned against a wall, where you feel like you don't have a choice. Like, that's not fun. God will often give you opportunities to kind of get yourself together, like get it right before I show you. You don't want God to show you. And I'm not upset about it. I am happy because I know you've been telling me to do this for so long. I'm happy because I know God has been pushing me and requiring more from me for so long, but I just haven't done it. And it's just a moment of transparency with you guys. just a moment of accountability to say, you know, sometimes we're doing just enough to get by. Sometimes we're comfortable with where we are. And sometimes the next level that requires that new version of us, we're too afraid of doing that. We think it's going to require too much. And I want to let you know, it's better to just go ahead and become who you need to become, or become who you're becoming, because the other side of that is just not fun. And so cheers to becoming. Cheers to doing what God called it to do. You know, I'm excited for this journey. I'm really excited because I already see off of being faithful and off of showing up in the ways that I have and just being a little bit more consistent and, you know, relying on God a lot more. I'm seeing the fruits of it already. And so I can only imagine what God is going to do if I continue to lean into this feeling and continue to just do and be who He called me to be. And that's the same thing for you. So whatever it is that you're stuck at, wherever you're comfortable, if you feel like you've been complacent, you've just been chilling, just listen. Go ahead and go across that line. Step into who you really are, who God is really calling you to be, because your next level is going to require a new version of you.